Well, welcome to everybody to another episode of the Lawrence History Project. And my name is Mark Palermo. Here with me here is my co-host Tom Delisle and our esteemed guest and Lawrence expert, Mr. Joseph Bella. And today we're going to be continuing our talk on brews and breweries of Lawrence. And the Lawrence History Project, award-winning project, talking about the old days, just a bunch of old guys talking about the old days. And I'm predicting that as the years go on, this is going to become more and more popular. As young people want to know what came before us, what was here, what were people like? Were people different? Well, yes and no. They were in some ways, but as the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. And people pretty much, in some ways, they haven't changed. And in some ways, they do change with circumstances. But us old guys are here to talk about the old days, whoever is interested. So without further ado, do you guys have anything to add to that before we start our?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Pinkies.
Okay, Pinkies.
Wow.
And across the way, the brass rail. Notorious. My Uncle Danny was a drummer, you know.
He was amazing.
He was regionally famous. I would say not nationally famous, but regionally famous.
Yes.
He was a household name.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a drummer all his life. He talked about the brass rail. He said that was a very violent place.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, people get beat up there all the time.
Wow.
Where was it, Matt?
That was like where Northern Essex is right now.
Oh, okay.
Do you know where Northern Essex is? Across the way, there's some projects.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they were built in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all tenements there. They cleared them out like in the
Yeah.
60s.
Yeah.
But
Urban renewal.
that's what was there.
Yeah. Urban removal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Urban renewal.
Yeah.
Near Wiener's Furniture and Flavor Fresh and First National.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
area around
that
there.
whole
Yeah.
thing. Just dozens. There was a whole neighborhood there. They just cleared everything out.
Yeah.
Pinkies, the brass rail. Yeah, especially the brass rail. I still remember. I was just a child, but I remember stories. Oh, somebody got beat up in the brass rail. Or
Wow.
somebody got knifed in the brass rail.
Yikes.
I know there's all the knifings and beatings. Who would go there? But some people are just attracted to that.
Yeah.
You know, moths to the flame.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd rather drink at home myself
Yeah.
than go out and get beat up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I asked in the previous. You'll notice this cold brew, and there's a couple of holes in this. This is for people under 50. Okay, this is for people under 50. You know what those holes are? And by the way, I'm holding up. This is from Joe's collection. I think I asked this question in the previous episode, and I didn't answer it. But you can have a look at this. Anybody over 50 knows, and people usually under 50 don't know. This is what is called a church key, correct?
Church key.
Church key.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to drink beer, you had to have this because you can see you can see the holes here, and it's just a little instrument. You have to open them with this. And if you didn't have one of these, you were really in trouble. You had to find novel ways to open it. Oh, that's a bottle opener.
Bottle
Yeah.
opener.
That's
Yeah.
the bottom.
Even it's church key. It's a Holohan's ale
Yeah.
and
I
Pilsner.
think that one
okay?
says Hall Hands also.
Yeah.
Where'd that phrase come from? Do you know church key?
It's
Do you
just
know the etymology
a
for
nickname thing. They just, some people like to describe certain things with other meanings
Right.
and other names. But the real meaning, of course, was open the can
Right. Yes.
and get what's inside and drink what's inside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Eddie
Mann's.
Mann's.
Eddie Mann's.
Suspicious fire.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Oh, it's suspicious?
Yeah. That's what I heard. I don't know for sure. But Eddie Mann, I used to have a band. We used to play there
Oh, yeah?
on Saturday nights.
Mhm.
A few more than once, I remember playing there in Eddie Mann's. And that became Clark's Station Break.
Yes.
That's right on Essex Road at the
Yeah.
end of Essex Street
Mm-hmm.
near Broadway.
Yeah. Clocks.
Eddie
And
Mann's.
the
Yeah,
President Hotel. Right
the
next-
pr- the-
it's just off to the right.
the
Yeah.
President Hotel.
Yeah.
Its current iteration as a do they have condos in there? Could it be a rentals? They fixed it up pretty nice. Have you been? Have you seen it lately? I think when I think of the President Hotel, I think of a Heartbreak Hotel, Elvis Presley.
Right.
Yeah.
It's why some of these movie companies they come to Lawrence because there's something evocative about
Yeah.
they can get certain shots. They're evocative of the 1920s or whatever.
Right.
Oh, there it is, Tom.
There it is. Yeah.
Wow.
The president.
Yeah.
And fire up there too.
Oh yeah.
Look at the Italianate columns. What do they call those? Arches
Yeah.
and the
Wow.
stonework. That really is pretty cool.
It is.
And the first floor, way back, when years and years ago, was the German restaurant called the Heidelberg.
Oh,
yeah?
really?
The best German food in the city, primarily.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a banner, a small banner, like one of those football banners.
Oh, yeah.
With a point.
Like a pennant?
Pennant. It's a pennant, and it says Heidelberg Restaurant, President Hotel,
Whoa.
Essex Street.
It's marble, I remember, because I went in there. The only time I was ever in there, I was 16, and I worked for a job. They needed a night desk man.
Oh.
And they said, "Kid, I don't think you have enough life experience." He probably saved my life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have lasted 1 weekend.
Yikes. Wow.
No.
Our mutual friend, Dave Baldwin, used to work for the electric company. And he said, go down into the basement down there
Oh, really?
and to read the electric meters.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said there was a 1920s speakeasy down there. This is covered in the dust and everything. He said it was just amazing. Like it had
I
been
believe it.
untouched
Yeah.
by the 1970s. It's probably
Right.
not there anymore, but
No.
can you just imagine
Oh,
that?
what
Speakeasy
shots
down
that
there?
would
be.
Oh,
Oh,
my
wow.
God, yeah.
There's a speakeasy in Nashua
Yeah.
to this day. Yeah. It's like a bookstore, a used bookstore. And
Oh.
there's a little, you have to knock, and there's a little thing that
A
opens.
slide. Wow. Speakeasy.
In Nashua off of Main Street.
I used to have coffee on Saturday mornings at the McDonald's, and there was a lot of old timers there. And I asked them one time, this is back in the 90s, so they could remember very well Prohibition. I asked one guy, I said, how long will it take you to find a place to drink during Prohibition? He says, well, are you kidding me? Less than 5 minutes right off the train, you could find a speakeasy. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, now where is that? Holohan's Beer.
Holohan's, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't read
That's
it.
from the, I couldn't read
That
that
is from the
either.
archives. That
The
is,
archives.
I think that is,
Looks
it
familiar.
looks like Hayes Tavern, but it's not.
No.
I think it's from that area, though, because they had the photographs. Hayes was close to that one. It seemed like they were
Yeah.
bunched together.
Yeah.
Probably half a block away.
Lawrence had a million taverns, men's,
yeah.
men's,
Oh, yeah.
they were
They did.
men's bars.
with
Yeah.
all the mills.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People get thirsty.
Yeah. Well, guys want to get away from their wives.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's,
a perfect refuge.
yeah. Yeah. Jeez.
Because the idea of a men's bar, you really couldn't, it would be discrimination nowadays. It's a very politically touchy thing now.
Yeah.
Society's even arguing what is a man, what is a woman. So you can't really put a sign out like they used to. It'd say
Yeah.
men's bar.
Right. Right.
And women, I suppose they would just throw them out, but they really weren't welcome. They weren't made to feel welcome.
No.
But the Sportsman's Cafe on Lawrence Street,
Uh-huh.
they had two entrances.
Oh, yeah, that was common. Yeah.
Ladies' entrance,
Yeah.
men's
Yeah.
entrance, and you go in, you're in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, oftentimes,
Just-
sometimes they
just
would
two
partition
steps
it
in.
off.
That was just
Oh,
a
did it?
petition.
And but or they would say ladies entrance or ladies and escorts. So a woman could go in if she was escorted,
Right.
Right.
but they didn't want single men in there bothering them. So the women wanted to go drink without being bothered.
Wow.
They go in the ladies' entrance. Eventually, it all broke down.
Oh, yeah.
By the 1970s. But do you remember the Blue Slipper?
Oh, God.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I remember
They
the
had
name.
a ladies' entrance.
They have a ladies'
Yeah.
entrance right
Yeah.
in the back. It was
Blue
partitioned
Slipper.
off.
I think
That was right near my house. Remember where the gas station was?
Yeah.
There's like a triangular between Bennington and Lawrence Street. There's a triangle.
Yes.
There was an old stone building there,
Mm-hmm.
and part of it was a gas station. The back was the Blue Slipper.
That's
Lounge.
right.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
Rose's
inside.
Variety was
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's right.
I think my
I
parents
forgot
used to go there.
where that
the,
was.
the Blue
Yes.
Slipper.
Yeah,
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
them talking about it. We're going to the Blue Slipper.
Yeah. That must have been very small.
Yeah, it
Because
wasn't
that
very
little
big.
triangle
yeah.
area.
Yeah.
And then Bins, I've never seen a shot of Bins. The fish
Ben's,
market.
Ben's Fish Market.
That was
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're good fish.
On Fridays, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The whole neighborhoods would be out there. It'd be like a movie theater.
Oh,
People waiting in line,
Yeah.
sawdust on the floor
Wow.
from another
in all
era.
my travels, I've had all kinds of food, but I think if God gave me one last meal, I'd want a fish and chips from Ben's. Huh?
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
The greasy paper, the bags,
Yeah,
the way
the
it should
newspaper,
be.
The
right?
newspaper, yeah.
Newspaper. You know how toxic that is.
Yes.
And they do it in London. In London, when I was
Yeah.
there and went
Yeah.
to a restaurant, fish and chips, newspaper, in the newspaper,
Yeah, yeah.
even in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few years ago.
I don't think they can do it anymore. Probably.
I don't know.
I don't think so. No, that's the newsprint is highly toxic. I think
Yeah,
it's got
the
lead
ink.
and all kinds of crap in it. You don't know
Yeah.
what it's got, but it's not good for you.
No,
So they just have to use regular deli paper or whatever.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, this is still
Taste-
here.
Oh, look at, wow.
Survived all
Yeah.
these. It looks just as it probably did
Yeah,
back in the 50s.
wow.
God only knows.
Yeah, Narragansett beer, though.
Gansett.
Did you? Narragansett.
Narragansett.
Do they still make that stuff? I think they do. I think I've seen it.
I don't drink beer, so I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
I think
I
they
like
might.
wine.
Yeah. Oh, my beer drinking days are over. I've retired.
Oh, yeah.
Now, where was Hayes? Was that around Broadway?
That's on South Broadway. It's
South
it's still there. It looks pretty much the same way as it does.
Yeah, yeah. In fact,
Whereabouts? By like the Calumet? Remember the and Victor Hugo's bicycle?
further south, I think that's
yeah.
Further south.
Further south, yeah.
Going towards,
And
there used to be Ray's Diner. Now it's a Hispanic diner.
Yeah,
A little before Sacred Heart.
it's the same side.
Same
The
side.
same side, yeah.
Hayes.
Yeah. Hayes Tavern. Wow.
Behind us is another. And pleasure is what you pour with Holohan.
Notice the O after Holohan's, after the H in Holohan's,
Isn't that interesting?
they curve the O. I don't know what that means.
Maybe just to attract attention. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Pleasure is what you pour.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll
Ready
have
for
a beer
the
with
summer.
her. I'll have a beer with her any day.
Right. Summer's coming.
She's somebody's grandma now,
Yeah.
even if she's still here.
Grandma. Yeah.
Oh, would you care to tell us about this, Joe?
Stanley and Company actually were originally from Boston. They were based in Boston. And that's a small little trade card I picked up in my travels with my, how many do I have? Trade cards. I lost track. 400 or 500 Lawrence trade cards. And that's the only one that has the name Stanley Company. They weren't here that long. They weren't in Lawrence that long at all. Again, they were based in Boston primarily, but they were here for a very short while. Stanley and Company, Bavarian brewers of ale and Bavarian lager beer, and they would have been early 1900s, I would say.
Okay. Yeah.
But again, they were based in Boston primarily. Yep, Stanley and Company.
Those trade cards were beautiful. All the businesses had those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they used them too.
They used them, yeah.
So people wouldn't forget.
Oh, okay. I'm putting the call out here. This is, I think, we were debating about whether this is Gloria of the Sack Club fame, okay? For years, I mean, there was no internet or anything like that. So if you wanted to know what's going on in the city, you'd have to go to the Tribune and the entertainment page, and there would always be, Gloria is back at the Sack. I wonder if this is Gloria. I've heard all kinds of stories. She's an exotic dancer, Middle Eastern exotic dancer. I heard a story, was it from you, Tom, that she was Mexican?
I don't know.
No? Could that possibly be?
It could have been me.
We're putting the call out here
We're putting the call out.
because
PSA.
I'm developing, I'm afraid I'm developing an obsession with Gloria. And I want to know if she's still with us. I would love to have her.
Well,
Joe says no.
I do have a picture of her, a Tribune, Eagle Tribune picture from way back, and she had a ponytail. The picture
Okay.
I have. Now she could have changed her hairstyle.
There's a
later.
shot of her as a blonde too.
Oh really?
Oh, it's coming up. Yeah.
Real a blonde?
This is a family show. Is this her or is this somebody else?
I think it's
I think
her.
that's
It could be
her.
her
I
as
would
a
say
young,
that's
yeah, yeah.
her. Yeah, I would say.
And
and
if you've
I do
seen-
think it's Gloria.
yes. Yeah.
She's what is known now as a belly dancer, but she was the real thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Because that was,
she was just, it was in good taste, but it was very sensual.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
And that sack was Syrian American Club.
yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
That's right. Now, I'm sorry, Joe. What were you saying about her? She was sick or something? She was
Yes,
ill?
she was ill while, under contract at the SAC Club. She had an illness and she was absent for a certain period of time. And then when she returned, she had such a large following that someone put an ad in the Tribune. And actually, there was an ad in every other day
Every other day.
mentioning in large letters, Gloria is back at the SAC. And I have a copy of that article, which
Wow.
I forgot to bring. I remember-
Gloria's back of the sock.
Yes.
I mean, it's burned into my memory for like
Yes.
10 years, my entire adolescence.
and again, the angle of the shot, she had a ponytail, and her hair was black. With the Tribune's
A
picture.
headshot,
Yeah, I think it was
like a 3/4 profile
something like
with
that.
the ponytail. Yeah.
Yeah, she had a ponytail.
Yeah. There's a copy of that at the archive.
But every article that came out in the Tribune, once a week maybe, was Gloria is back at the SAC.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have a shock here. Tom, I think did we get this from the archives or whatever? Can we have the next picture here? I think it's Gloria as a blonde.
Yeah. That
Oh
was,
my gosh.
That was from the
Wow.
archive.
Wow.
The SAC
Can we go
Club.
back? There she is.
Yeah.
There she is. Wow. That could
Looks
be
like
her.
she's getting a little older there,
She
but
looks
she's...
like,
Yeah.
that looks like maybe the 60s, early 60s.
Yeah, I would
yeah.
say, because the skirt was high.
So I'm putting the call, just in case she's still with us, probably not.
No, she's
Or
not.
if you know anything about Gloria,
Or nephews and
would
nieces.
you please, you can just email me. Lawrence, it's very easy. LawrenceHistoryProject@gmail.com. Just let me know if you know anything about Gloria. LawrenceHistoryProject, one word, @gmail.com. Let me know. Yeah, I know Gloria, or whatever you know, whatever you can tell us about
I
her.
do have, my memory is working
Okay.
overtime now.
Okay.
There was a relative of hers that was friendly to my mother and my family from Methuen. And she used to tell us stories about Gloria. And I think it was a sister. It might have been a sister of hers. I'll have to check when I get home. In the next show.
Oh,
we'll
that's
have
great.
more
Follow
info.
up.
Okay,
Yeah, I did
folks,
know-
you heard it. You heard it from the horse's mouth here.
My memory is a little slow. It's back there, but it starts to work forward. And again, I do remember a relative of hers that was a family member, and she passed from Methuen,
Yeah.
Pleasant Valley. And she was, I think it was a sister.
Oh, look at
If
that.
I can remember correctly, yeah.
Fill in those blanks.
She was a magnificent dancer.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
a magnificent dancer. She expressed something more than mere eroticism. It was timeless, something of the timelessness. You to see her dance, you say, this is probably the way women danced in Christ's time.
Yeah.
It was just something historic. It was something, I don't know, it's just something reached back into time.
And cultural.
Archetypal.
Yeah,
Cultural,
that was, Syrian culture.
Yeah.
If it was the Hibernians, they'd be
Eastern,
doing the, Irish step dancing.
Yeah.
So it was cultural also.
Yeah.
Eroticism. Sometimes less is more. I hope the young people realize that. I think class.
You're talking about the picture?
Class and sophistication are coming back into style.
You're talking about the picture behind you?
Okay. Oh, there it is.
SAC Club.
There it is.
The SAC Club,
Yeah.
Syrian American Club,
Yeah.
where Gloria used to dance every weekend.
Right.
On Elm, right by Shot Street. And
Yeah.
Petarudos was just off to the left.
Oh, yeah.
In a later iteration, maybe
Right.
a few decades later.
Yeah.
And now that's the area where they're putting up they're enlarging the old not the Leahy, what's the other? The Oliver.
Oh, the
Oh,
Oliver.
yeah.
Probably part
Yeah.
has been taken in. Or the Lawrence Seniors is on the other side
Yeah.
on Havel Street.
Havel Street,
It backs
right.
up against that.
Yeah. The Sack
So
Club.
these things, they were, and I remember they were so big, but they were small buildings.
Yeah.
You know, other joints, not that that was a joint, but the joints were so small.
Yeah.
It's funny when you go back to something, you know, you knew as a child, some place or something. You say, "Gee, I thought it was bigger than it was." You notice that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
is this one of yours?
that's one of mine.
Oh, look at that classic, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
That's
Where'd you take
on
that, Tom?
Weld. Yeah, that was during the feast.
Oh, okay.
And it was Newberry and Common Street. You know,
Oh, okay.
across from Tripley's parking lot. It's in the corner now. I think it might be a nail salon,
Wow.
but that was, yeah.
It looks like something out of a Jack Kerouac novel.
yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So what year was that, Tom?
That was probably early 80s.
Early 80s.
Wow.
Yep. Late
We're going to have to
70s,
do a
early 80s.
retrospective.
Whenever
of
Weld
Tom.
was
Yeah,
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 80s. Yeah, yeah. Have to do a retrospective of Tom's exclusive work.
Yeah.
Next, please. Oh, a classic.
Bill Peters.
Bill
Oh,
Peters. Oh my
gosh.
God! I hope we have that inside shot. I think we do.
Yep. I think
Bill
so.
Peters. Now, this had a surprisingly long life. I think it was right here until the mid or late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Peters, a dive bar.
I know it.
But not just a dive bar. This was looks like a 1930s dive bar
Yeah.
that you'd see out of a 1930s movie.
Wow.
Let's see. I think we have the inside shot. I think it was one of yours, Tom, right?
Yep.
Here we are.
There we go.
Here we are inside Bill
Inside.
Peters.
Wow.
Look at that. The fan, the old radiators.
Yeah.
They had rooms upstairs, not apartments, single rooms, I think.
Oh,
Correct.
yeah, yeah.
People
Wow.
lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really,
Lawrence's finest.
Yeah.
this is some of Lawrence's finest. It's pretty evocative of what some of those old men's bars
Yeah.
really,
Couple guys
really
watching
look
the
like.
TV
I mean, no
in
women.
the back. No.
No.
I mean, women could come in, but they didn't. Well, there are nightclubs, of course. Women are obviously welcome, and more sophisticated bars,
yeah.
of course. But a men's bar was for men. Stogies,
Yeah.
yeah. This is very evocative of the times. You know, look, they had never bothered to upgrade anything,
No.
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 which gives it its character. Well,
A little patina.
you have such an eye for this stuff, Tom. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
Oh, another one
Yeah,
from Bill.
another angle.
Here's
Wow.
one of the regulars.
Yeah.
All hands clock.
Apollo Heads
look at
Clark.
that,
Yeah.
huh?
If anyone knows this fine gentleman, let us
Ay,
know.
ay, ay. Wow.
He's looking at. Looks like he's having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, back in the day, I took maybe 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah.
If I was in there now, I'd shoot a roll. You know what
Yeah.
was considered a roll.
Sure.
I'd shoot every nick and cranny. Nook
Well,
and
now you know
cranny,
you don't
nook
have to
and
pay for
cranny.
film.
Right.
So yeah, you'd shoot every nick and cranny and pick the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, film was expensive, so I think you probably
Right.
had it in your mind. Well, I'll just take the important shots here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't technically Lawrence. But
Tally
you remember
ho,
this?
Billy Margraff's.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the
Right, but
only
they're online.
picture I could find of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to go in there.
Oh, everybody
Chicken Bob. They
did.
had Chicken Bob's. Oh,
Chicken
that was
Bob's?
so good.
You know, I found well, Paul Margraff is still around. I think last I heard he's an undertaker.
Wow.
So you could ask him personally. But I found somebody on the internet put the recipe for this fabulous chicken
did?
bobs that he was famous
yeah?
for.
Wow.
And I can't remember exactly, but they do start by marinating.
Yeah.
The marinating and putting the chicken in a pressure cooker.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, that's why it's so tender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I heard some people use turkey and chicken.
turkey and chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That was
that-
another small place too. You go in,
Yeah.
and just a few weeks ago, Ray Daddy told me he had a friend that drove his motorcycle through the
I remember that. Yeah,
Tally
I
Hall.
remember
Or
that.
did
yeah.
you tell? Was it you?
No, I heard about it. I
think it
wasn't
was
there. Somebody
inside.
drove a
Ray's house.
motorcycle.
Inside.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Yeah, I had a few people streak through there. Remember streaking?
Oh yeah.
I had a
Oh,
few
yeah.
people streaking through there.
Ay,
They go
ay,
in one door and then run through the place and run out to the other.
Yeah.
Wow.
Take about 7
Yeah,
steps
yeah.
to get through the
But
place.
it was a friendly neighborhood bar.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't really have
It
much
was.
trouble there or
No.
anything like
No.
that. You know that I kind of miss that.
Little hole in the
it-
wall.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you could go there on a Friday night if you didn't have anything to do, and you'd find somebody you knew.
Yeah.
You know, time to pass the time. You know, that's a era long gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the friendly neighborhood tavern
For people who don't know where it is, right where Kobani's is now,
across the street.
across the street in the
street,
parking lot of CVS.
CBS.
right.
It was a little nook in
Yeah.
there, and that's
Yeah.
where the tally ho was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Margrave's a great guy.
Yeah.
I think they had to close it because the story I heard, and it's only a story, that the sewer pipe underneath, in the old days when they first built that, it was clay, but it dissolved completely. And they would have had to tear the place up completely
Right.
to install a new sewer line.
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
And it would have been exorbitantly expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that went to probably mid 80s, late 80s, that was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's it, guys. Do you have anything to add? No?
Just that all this talk has made me very thirsty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, this is
Oh, that's right.
a mug from Boehm, B-O-E-H-M, Boehm's Cafe on 7884 Essex Street, where now Firestone is located. So where Firestone is in
right.
North Lawrence,
Yes.
Essex Street, and corner of Essex and Newbury, that was Adolf Boehm's German bar and restaurant.
Yep, I think there's some shots of that in the archive.
Yeah.
Right across from Shaheen's, where they're putting up the
Right.
new building.
Yeah. And so that was another tavern, another place to go, German. Adolf Boehm.
so with that, my friends, we will sign off on another. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions, or if you can track down Gloria, anything to know with Gloria, I'm putting up the call here, my personal obsession.
Gloria, where are you?
LawrenceHistoryProject@gmail.com. Let us know. And if we've offended you, you have any complaints, please, by all means, don't call us.
Call Joe.
Call Gloria. Call Gloria.
Joe will handle it. Joe did it.
Gloria is back at the sack.
So long, everybody, until the next episode. Be well.
Take care.
Take care.